Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 267 on my countdown to retirement. So today was one for the records. Prior to the market open this morning, the Dow was down 1%, the S&P was down 0.6%, the Nasdaq was down 0.4%. At the close today, the Dow was up 7.87%, the S&P was up 9.52%, and the Nasdaq was up 12.16%. Today was the best day for stocks in 17 years, according to Mohammed Erian, and according to Josh Brown, who was referencing Goldman Sachs Investment Committee, today was the best one-day performance for the S&P going all the way back until 1990. And then according to Yahoo Finance, today was the biggest one-day gain in the Nasdaq since January 3rd, 2001, and the second best day ever. So as for me, my portfolio rebounded in aggregate 4.13% today, which was a nice bounce, but I still have a long way to go to get back to where I was, as I'm sure many of you do as well. But today was a lesson in why people stay invested. You know, if you hadn't sold out, it was only a paper loss. And then today was one of those days that if you missed it, when the year is over, your return will be substantially diminished over what it would be. That doesn't mean you're going to be up, but you're going to be in a much better place had you had today as part of your mix versus if you missed today. So, that's that. And then today, because the market was rising post-Trump putting a 90-day pause on the tariffs and lowering the reciprocal tariffs for all the countries except for China back down to 10%, while Scott Bessent negotiates, or whoever negotiates, the various tariff arrangements that they will have with the individual countries. My mom contacted me and was like, she had a substantial position in gold and silver as represented by the GLD ETF and the SLV ETF. And so she asked me to help her liquidate part of those investments in a tax deferred retirement account. And so but this was like less than 10 minutes before the close. So unfortunately for me, I can't type as fast as she wanted me to do certain things. So I was able to liquidate a portion of both positions in GLD and SLV, but not fast enough to get it done to what she wanted before the close. So I put in an order that I expect to execute tomorrow to liquidate the remaining portion that she wanted. And then if it executes as I expect, then from that point forward, she'll basically be playing with the house's money. And she therefore can have peace of mind and not be worried about, what's going on relative to the investment in those two items. And then I took the money that came out of that today and I rolled it into the U.S. Treasury SNSXX mutual fund, U.S. Treasury money market fund, which is paying 7-day yield right now, I think 3.98%. So again, captured the gains for her, rolled that in. So, my mom's in her mid 80s, so she wanted to be protected. So, took care of that. And again, hopefully tomorrow I'll get the other components that she wanted to liquidate taken care of, protect that money. And then if she wants me to move it into something else, I will. But she felt pretty good about, capturing the gain that she's captured. Anyway, as I said, today was one for the records. Um, outside of following what was going on in the markets, and like literally, I was doing some work, and on my screen at work, a thing popped up when Trump had, I guess, tweeted or posted on his Truth Social that he was doing the pause, and then I saw a video pop up, and I think it was Kelly Evans on Power Lunch. I think that's right. And she was like in shock as she was reading the numbers as the Dow was climbing, 500, 700, 900, 1,000, 1,300, and then it ran up like over 2,000 points in a very short period of time. So she was freaking out to see whether it was really happening or not, and then they broke to what the story was. But it was really interesting to watch kind of that happening in pseudo real time. Anyway, that's my update for today. If you have any questions, any comments, please drop them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.